This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Erick Strickland.
Strickland for three, and you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NEBCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Welcome into On the Block, a beautiful Wednesday. Hope you're having a good one. Hump day halfway through the week before a long weekend. I know Strick and I are both looking forward to that. I'm Austin Norman. To my right today, Erick Strickland. Big thanks to Megan running the board, doing a great job for us. She did yesterday.
Shout out to Megan.
Appreciate that. Big shout out. Big shout out to NEBCO as well. NEBCO and constructors hiring for all positions. Immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Join the crew today. Be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. Laborers start $23 and up based on experience. Visit nebcoinc.com or constructorslincoln.com to learn more. Mentioned the breaking news there at the end of the segment, Strick, with Nebraska football getting a home game moved from a Saturday to a Friday, from Saturday, September 21st to Friday, September 20th, home game against Illinois. And of course, a lot of the pushback with this has been, hey, high school football on Friday nights, right? You played Friday Night Lights football here in the state of Nebraska. Are you okay with college football taking over Friday nights? Do you think it should remain separate on Saturdays? Where do you fall on that?
I mean, I don't too much get mad about it on one game. You know, it's one weekend. I think for you as a local high school player, I think you just hope it's not a big rivalry game that weekend. You know what I mean? Especially depending on the success that Nebraska has on the onset. You know, by the time they get to Big Ten play, so I would say it's not really bothersome, but you wouldn't want like a Bellevue West and Gretna, you know, or whatever. You wouldn't want that.
A West Side Prep, nothing like that.
Yeah. You wouldn't just want that game going on. But other than that, yeah, I don't think it bothers you for one night.
It shouldn't, right? Because everyone in the Big Ten is doing this. It's become a thing. And we know Nebraska already has the one Friday game every year. It's Iowa on Black Friday. And Mitch Sherman, who joined us halfway through spring ball or so, said the decision this year was taken out of Nebraska's hands because it's 4 Big Ten road games outside of Iowa. So the 3 other Big Ten road games are all homecoming weekends for their opponents. So if you pull up Nebraska football's 2024 schedule, Ohio State is a road game. So that's going to be a homecoming. You look at Purdue. Okay, so in order, it'll be Purdue, September 28th. That's a homecoming. Nebraska at Indiana, homecoming. Very next week, Nebraska at Ohio State, homecoming. And then November 16th at USC, that's also homecoming. So I understand why schools wouldn't want their homecoming games being played on a Friday. So it was bound to happen sooner or later. Suck it up, Husker fans. Sorry, DVR the game. There's plenty of ways to rewatch it. Always go support your kids first, right? If you don't have anything else to do, then go to Memorial Stadium. But that's the other important part of this, Strick. I know how important Husker football is to this state, but man, don't let a Husker football game get in the way of watching your kids' game, right? It might sting for the night, but go support your kids, please.
Yeah, I agree. Get out there and because I can say probably earlier in my career, I would say that there would be times when I have a game or something and you look up in the stands and you wonder if dad's going to show up or you wonder if mom's going to show up. Then I got, understanding my father was an officer in the Air Force and he's in missiles. So there are times where he's TDY or he's flying second acts where he's in a plane for 24 hours a day or, he's in a silo somewhere. I kind of got to a point where I understood that. And mom was in Alabama. So I just said self-motivation. But it is a beautiful thing to kind of know an area where your parents going to be and they show up. And it doesn't matter if it's a sports, if it's a recital, if it's a concert, just the beauty of it, and this is why I'm going to actually be going down to see my daughter in Miami before school gets out. She wants to show me her school. You know what I'm saying? It's a nice, she deserves it because she's National Honor Society. She's got a prestigious internship at a graphics design company as a junior. So, I mean, she's doing her thing, you know what I mean? So I definitely want to go down and support her. And that's one of the things she wants of me. And I'm going to go down and do it. So yeah, you want to do that.
I'm trying to pull up the NSAA football schedules right now. They have the order in which they'll play opponents, but the dates aren't given. So we'll definitely be monitoring that, especially as we get closer to September 20th and see just who in the Nebraska ranks will be affected, how it would affect the coaches too, right? If there's a high profile matchup that the coaches would have liked to have gone to, since it's a home game, you know, for Nebraska, they could have gone out and recruited that night before and then been back. We'll keep tabs on it. Let's go to an early break here. On the other side, we'll bring in Evan Bland of the Omaha World Herald. Definitely want Evan's thoughts on the whole night at Charles Schwab Field last night, everything that happened for Nebraska baseball, how the rest of the Big Ten tournament sets up, but then also this Husker football scheduling news. What does it mean? How will the state handle it? All that and more with Evan Bland of the Omaha World Herald next.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Hey, Husker Nation, Matt Davison here with 1890. It's an exciting time to be a Husker fan, and to keep that momentum going, we need your help. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics, and we're doing the same through name, image, and likeness. NIL is a unique opportunity for every Husker fan to have a direct impact on the success of our programs. Through 1890, 100% of your contribution goes to the student athletes. So go to 1890nebraska.com, choose your sport, become a member, and help the Huskers recruit and retain the best. Go Big Red.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue. If the week's been too hectic to even think about dinner, or your family can't handle one more night of leftovers, then it's time to let Hog Wild do the cooking. Hog Wild's family packs are one heck of a good deal for a complete barbecue meal loaded with all the smoked meats, tasty sides, buns, and sauces you need to feed your family. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
The need in our community, if you just look at the numbers, it's frightening. We're serving over 1,000 kids every day. With the passion of our people, I really feel like our potential to be of even greater service to kids and families who are struggling is just unlimited. But in order to have the greatest impact, we need all the help we can get from the community.
NEPCO is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mixed Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. NEPCO offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From NEPCO's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
This is Coach Bill Bush. You all know my passion for Nebraska. Having coached all over the country, I can honestly say there is no place like Nebraska. You know where there's also no place like? Midwest Bank. Midwest Bank has proudly served Nebraska for over 70 years, and they're located in 9 different communities. Midwest Bank is ready, willing, and able to meet all your personal, business, and agriculture needs. Your community, your bank, and mine, Midwest Bank. Find out more at Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
Your business runs like a well-oiled machine. It's important that your actual machines do too. Stern is here to make sure you don't have to worry about that. They provide solutions for heavy equipment and automotive fuels, lubricants, and equipment guard options. And with Stern's commitment to customer service for the past 40 years, you know you have a partner to help support your operations for years to come. Contact Roger at Stern Company by calling 1-800-477-2744 or visit them online at stern.co. Stern Company, where problems meet solvers.
The Mill Coffee and Tea, formerly with only 4 Lincoln locations. Guess what?
What?
There's 5 Lincoln locations now. Oh my gosh. That's 25% more Lincoln locations than there used to be. Can you even imagine a world where there's only 4 Lincoln Mill locations? Feels like ages ago. We were all so young then. The Mill on 11th, located right alongside 93.7 The Ticket Studios, 1040 O Street.
Hey guys, it's Bill Bush. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty has opened a new location in Pender, Nebraska, in addition to their office in Lincoln. The real estate world can be confusing, so why wouldn't you want an expert helping you every step of the way? If you're looking to buy or sell farmland in Nebraska, Kansas, or Iowa, give Ethan Sorensen a call today at 402-380-0432 or visit them online at nextagrealestate.com. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty with locations in Lincoln and now Pender, Nebraska.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back here during On the Block on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Austin Norman, Erick Strickland with you. Let's go ahead and bring in Evan Bland of the Omaha World Herald here on our VIP line, brought to you by Aloe Fiber, where they understand the importance of exceptional service with local hearts. Evan joins us every week, every Wednesday here at 2:30 during On the Block. Evan, heck of a night at Charles Schwab Field last night, wouldn't you say?
It was a memorable night, maybe in not all the greatest of ways for Nebraska fans, but it got over before midnight, so I think that part was a win.
It's the small victories, the Pyrrhic victories, if you will, to some degree. Let's just dive right into it. 15-2, a run rule victory for Ohio State over Nebraska. Obviously, not a good look for Nebraska, who earns the 2 seed in the tournament, loses to the 7 seed. And you can't say that one decision changed everything, but the decision not to start Brett Sears in this game, Big Ten Pitcher of the Year that it was announced, 92 inning workload. What did you make of Will Bolt's rationale after the game to hold off on throwing Brett Sears?
Well, I to me, it makes a lot of sense if you think about it big picture. Like if you go into the Big Ten tournament saying, okay, you're probably a regional 2 seed no matter what you do, whether you run the table in Omaha, that's not going to get you in the hosting conversation. You go 0-2, you're still an at-large. Maybe you fall to a 3 seed in the regional, but it doesn't really matter because you play a 2 anyway. So I think they took a big picture approach to this thing, first of all, by saying, okay, let's keep Sears on regular rest. He's going to pitch, as it turns out, tonight, Wednesday night, and then he'll be on a full week by the time they go to a regional next week. Will Bolt also, laid out the fact that Sears threw 94 pitches on what would have been 4 days rest if he had gone the other night. He's already over 90 innings pitched this year. He had 17 last spring as a Husker reliever. So all these different things went into it. So, I think kind of the circumstances snowballed a little bit. If Nebraska had lost a close game, or if this hadn't happened in front of a home crowd, I think people kind of get it in terms of the bigger picture. But, it's one thing to kind of say abstractly, let's save our number one guy and not mess with his rhythm for the NCAA tournament. It's another thing than to have to kind of go out and experience the whole thing for a few hours and in front of your home fans. And so I think kind of the way that things got away from the pitchers who were on the mound sort of underscored the decision that Nebraska made that maybe would have gone a little bit more under the radar, or people would have understood more if it had been more competitive. So I get it in the big picture, but certainly in the short term, it's not maybe the best strategy in terms of trying to win the Big Ten tournament.
And that's the thing, too, because there are multiple big pictures here, right? The one big picture is this season of setting up for regionals, of keeping your guys' arm healthy. But the other thing, Evan, is that this program kind of feels like it needs a spark right now. I mean, 34 wins is solid. It's been a semi-consistent regional team, but it's been a long time since Nebraska won a conference tournament. I mean, it's missed Omaha, recently as well. So on the one hand, I understand the big picture of regionals and try to maximize this year, but this program needs a spark. And I feel like winning a Big Ten tournament, could be that. There's no reason that Nebraska shouldn't have won it in the decade plus in the Big Ten, especially with the tournament being at Omaha. Is there some consideration given to even the bigger picture of, hey, we need to start winning this tournament and making it our own?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're laying down. I mean, the guys who were out there last night certainly tried and did their best. They came close to winning it in 2019. They lost in the final to Ohio State. They've lost in the final to Indiana a few years before that. So they've certainly kind of gotten to the brink of it. I keep comparing it to like the no-hitter that Jackson Brockett threw last month, where it was like a win was just as valuable, but like to do it in the way that they did really did give them some momentum and some energy that they didn't have. I kind of feel like that's what this is with the Big Ten tournament, where like really all you need to do is go into the NCAAs feeling like you're playing good baseball, feeling like your pitching's lined up, executing offensively at a decent level. And like that would be good enough. But I think the tournament sort of represents that memorable moment that you can have in front of your home fans that really can, give people sort of a landmark for what the program's done this year or in recent years. So yeah, I think they do want to win it, and it's not over yet. I mean, they're going to have Brett Sears now tonight against Purdue. That's a really good matchup for Nebraska. You've still got Mason McConaughey in the wings, who could go Friday. So like their next two games, they're putting their best foot forward in terms of their pitching. Of course, then that sets you up on Saturday to need to find a way to win a couple, and you're going to have to kind of piece it together at that point. But, we'll see how the next couple weeks or the next couple days go. History would tell you that when you lose in the opener of these kind of tournaments, it's really rare to even make the finals. It's hard to come back because you have to play the extra games, and it's harder on your pitching. So they're definitely in a hole. It's not over yet, yada, yada, yada. But yeah, I think, of course, you want to win it. But at this point, if as long as you can head into the NCAAs feeling like you're playing well offensively and you have your pitching lined up to where you want it, I think that's probably the best case for Nebraska at this point.
We're talking with Evan Bland of the Omaha World Herald here on our Allo VIP line. The other part of this decision, Evan, I want your opinion on is the messaging from Will Bolt, right? We talked about what he said post-game, but even pre-game, we don't know exactly what went on. And we know that, Nebraska's coaching staff doesn't owe us the information. But do you assume there were conversations with Brett Sears saying, hey, we're sure you want the ball. We know you're the Big Ten pitcher of the year. We're going to hold you out on normal rest. We think it's best for you. And if those conversations happened, why wouldn't Nebraska share that? Because I think a lot of fans are going in, assuming that Nebraska made a tactical mistake, that they weren't thinking it through, that they're maybe being overly cautious. I just feel like better messaging, even in pregame, could have saved some of this headache for Will Bolt.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't talk to media beforehand. They did a year ago, and I think maybe they would have had they won the Big Ten regular season title. But I think maybe that's part of it a little bit, where it wasn't really announced until about 24 hours beforehand. And so they didn't really have a chance to kind of lay it out there or explain their rationale. I don't know if they asked Brett Sears or not. Maybe they did. I mean, I would imagine any competitor in that situation would say, they want the ball. But that's what the coaches are supposed to do, is to kind of look at the big picture and line things up so you're competitive for the long haul. And like, again, if Nebraska needed to win the Big Ten tournament to get into the postseason, then it would, in my opinion, it would have thrown Brett Sears on Tuesday night. And I think Will Bolt sort of alluded to that when he said yes and no, that their decision not to start him was factoring in Nebraska's standing in the NCAAs with a top 30, 31 RPI. So, I think all that sort of plays a part of it. And if Nebraska was in that desperation mode, I think they would have started Sears yesterday. I think they would have started McConaughey in their next game on shorter rest. And like, you try to win the game at hand and figure out the rest from there. But when you have the kind of season that they've had, you have the luxury, I suppose, to be a little bit more conservative with how you do it. Ohio State, conversely, did start their ace on Tuesday because they have no choice but to win the tournament to continue on. Like, there's nothing that they're playing for beyond that. So I think you have to kind of factor all of those things into it. And, right, wrong, or indifferent, that's the way that Nebraska went. I think they still have some pitchers. Like we said, the next 2 days, you know who their starters are going to be. And beyond that, you still have guys like Christo and Will Walsh, who's done it in the postseason at the Big Ten tournament too. Mm-hmm. So, it's not over yet. It's not a perfect scenario. It kind of, in some ways, Austin, it makes me think back to 2021 when Nebraska ran away with the regular season title and there was no Big Ten tournament. So they didn't have to mess with it. Like, at that point, they went right into the postseason. They could reset their pitching to how they wanted it. I kind of feel like if you were to ask Nebraska, give them some truth serum, I think they might say they would rather not have this tournament this week because they've done what they need to do and they're ready to go for the NCAAs.
That's fair. The other thing that came to mind for me too, just even in the bigger picture sense, was I hope this doesn't, for the team's sake, turn into Bricktown 2.0, right? Where Nebraska loses a tough one to Oklahoma State and then turns around on short rest and gets beat by UConn to go home. Evan, this team has responded pretty well all year, right? And again, maybe the vibe inside the locker room, inside the clubhouse is different than on the outside. But from the outside, I think for a lot of people, it's, man, Nebraska really needs to respond tonight. I feel like, all things considered, if you look at how the midweeks have gone, Nebraska has been able to rely on Brett Sears and Mason McConaughey to right the ship on Fridays and Saturdays. So fans probably shouldn't be all out on this team, right?
Right. I mean, I think that's true. One of the characteristics that this team maybe doesn't have as strongly is sort of that killer instinct, where you're up a couple runs and then you make it 6 or 7 late, or you just overwhelm an opponent. But what they are really good at is being resilient and coming back. They haven't lost 3 games in a row, more than 3 games in a row all season. You think back to the Indiana series, that crusher on a Friday night, and you just think, man, this team's been gutted. And they come back and they win their next 2. And there are a number of examples this season where maybe the bullpen implodes or something happens, and you just think, boy, this could tailspin pretty quickly. And to their credit, they've always been able to bounce back. And this is, I think, the latest example of that, where, you got run ruled essentially in front of your home crowd in a postseason event. How do you come back from that? And it's a little bit different in the sense that they get to play the next day. And they still have their best pitchers ahead. Usually, you lose an opener like that, it's your ace, and you kind of have to scramble and figure it out from there. They went the other way. And again, if they had won the game Tuesday, if the bats had shown up, or Jackson Brockett was able to give them a quality start, then they're in outstanding shape moving forward. Then you've got Sears on a Thursday and McConaughey trying to pitch him into the Big Ten title game. So they took a gamble. They had the ability to do that because they were playing with house money, with where they stand in the NCAA tournaments. It didn't work out. And now you got to show what you're made of, and either you make a run, or you don't. And then you kind of see where where the selection committee sends you on Monday. And I think if Nebraska makes a run in a regional, in a week, people are going to forget, I think, all about what has happened in the Big Ten tournament.
What's your confidence level that Nebraska makes a run? Is it a 50-50 shot that they get to regionals and make some noise? Do you feel slightly better about how the pitching is setting up, the lineup? What's your vibe going into regionals?
Well, they need to do something a little bit more than they did the other night to give you some confidence. I mean, they left the park late Tuesday night not looking like a team that was headed to the postseason, just, kind of dejected and things of that nature. Again, they're always able to respond, and I don't see a scenario where they don't make the NCAA tournament, even if they lose to Purdue. Like, their RPI is too good, their strength of schedule is too good to miss it. And it's just going to come down to the same stuff that it's come down to for them all year. I think starting pitching continues to be the strength of this team. That's why they've won all but 2 of their weekends to this point. And, you know, that plays pretty well in a regional. If you have a bona fide ace and a strong number 2, and then you kind of figure it out in the third game. If you win those first 2, obviously you're in great shape. If you don't, you got to play your way back. But I still think Nebraska has arms of guys who can contribute in ways that they maybe haven't shown a ton of this year. I think Will Walsh continues to be a guy to me who I'm waiting for him to go out there and, put up 5 or 6 innings, because he's done it before. I think he can do it again. But the offense needs to find a little momentum. They need to, find those clutch hits. That's been a real problem for this lineup, is they've been able to get guys on base, but just the big money hit has been fickle. It's come and gone for them. And I think if you're going to make a run, this is that time of year when you have to make those hits count.
On the lineup side of things, offensively, no Cole Evans, no Ben Columbus last night. Instead, it's Will Jeske and Garrett Anglum. What was the rationale behind that? Give guys a day off? Get guys at bat? Something else?
Yeah, as much as was made of the Sears decision, to me, the lineup moves were the more curious ones of the two. And the lineup, the explanation from Will Bolt was that he felt like Jeske and Gabe Swanson were able to hit lefties better. Maybe they could square up left-handers better. The way that Ohio State threw out a left-hander in that game. And I don't know. I kind of look at some of the splits that Nebraska puts out, and really the splits for left-handers for those guys aren't markedly all that different, at least in the numbers that they show us, to what a Ben Columbus or Cole Evans would have. And so I think that part was maybe the frustrating part too. And ultimately it didn't really end up mattering because Nebraska gave up 15 runs, but it's probably not a great look when some of your veteran bats who have been key pieces for you all year, Cole Evans, Ben Columbus, Garrett Anglum, Rhett Stokes, all pinch hit late in the game when it was over. They weren't in that starting lineup. And so it's asking a lot of a guy like Will Jeske, who's a true freshman who started 3 games before last night to come in and to perform. And so I'll be curious kind of what that lineup looks like tonight and how Purdue counters them with its own staff. But I think maybe that's kind of the frustrating part too, is there have been times this year when Nebraska has struggled where maybe it feels like an over-reliance sometimes on some of the statistics, the matchups, when maybe the more natural play would just be to let your guys who have been your guys go out and perform and kind of let the chips fall where they may.
So I guess to sum up the whole conversation, taking into account the regular season, the seeding, the way the Big Ten bracket falls right now, did Nebraska get too cute last night, or do you see enough of a process to say, okay, I see where Nebraska was coming from overall?
There were some midweek vibes, I'm not going to lie. Like, you kind of saw the lineup and you saw how they were piecing things together, and it did kind of feel like, they were being a little too hands-on, a little too intentional with some of the things, overthinking things, maybe just a little bit. I personally thought, I'll say it again, Will Walsh maybe would have been the guy last night. He was somebody, if people remember in the Ohio State series last month, he had like 4 pretty strong innings in relief to keep Nebraska close in that game. So I thought maybe they'd go that way again. But you go back to Brockett, who's kind of struggled in his last couple outings. But I guess to sum it up, I would say the pitching side of it, in terms of at least resting Sears, I understand. Maybe the lineup decisions and deciding to go with Brockett, to me, I think are a little more fair to scrutinize and talk about.
Last thing for you then on the NBA front, your boy Victor Wembanyama here, San Antonio Spurs, not Defensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, and then youngest player, first rookie ever to make the All-Defense team. San Antonio winning it all next year, Evan?
No, but they're building, man. That's the good stuff. And I think the list is awfully short, is it not, of rookies who make the All-Defensive team or an All-NBA team? Like, that's pretty rare. Like the guys that do that are in the Hall of Fame. So that's a heck of a start. And then they're picking 4th and 8th in the draft. I know it's not a super deep, at least obviously deep draft the way that some other recent ones were, but I'm excited. It's, it's been a dry spell here for a few years after being spoiled for like 20. So hopefully they can get that thing going and they have a cornerstone to build around for sure.
Evan, thanks as always for your time. Hope you're out of the check by midnight again tonight.
Can't wait. Thanks, Austin. See ya.
Evan Bland of the Omaha World Herald with us on our VIP line, brought to you by Allo Fiber, where they understand the importance of exceptional service with local heart. Let's take one more break here in hour 1 of the show. We'll be back to wrap it up with the biggest fighting fine in NASCAR history. Austin Norman, Erick Strickland, back momentarily.
Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread's Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
At Doane University, we build leaders, and that means your success and achievements come first.
At Doane University, your future is uniquely yours, and our world-class liberal arts education is just the beginning.
We invite you to schedule your campus visit and experience why Doane University will start you on your journey to your future career.
Learn more by scheduling your personal campus visit today at doane.edu/visit. See you soon.
Hey Nebraska! Register today for the 40th annual Cornhusker State Games, taking place July 11th through the 21st in Lincoln, Omaha, and other Nebraska communities. The Cornhusker State Games features 70 sports for athletes of all ages and abilities. Price increases are approaching, so register early and save. For details, go to cornhuskerstategames.com. If you've experienced a sports injury, joint or back pain, trust your care to Nebraska Orthopedic Center, a proud platinum partner of the Cornhusker State Games.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Hello? Believe it or not, old phones are one of the most common pain points in offices today. Many of these phones are beyond repair because parts aren't available to fix outdated devices. Whether it's a traditional phone system or cloud-based VoIP technology, Hamilton Business Phones can help upgrade your connection. We make it easy to sync your office phone with yourself for seamless call handling, no matter where you work. If your current office phone can't do this, you deserve better. Hire your local experts. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Whether you're looking for a place to stay for a concert at PBA, a Nebraska home game, or just a night on the town, the Courtyard Lincoln Downtown Haymarket is the place for you. Enjoy an evening at one of many restaurants or bars within a short walking distance. Business travelers at the hotel will enjoy free high-speed internet access, a 24-hour business center, and large in-room workstations. And check out the bistro, where you'll enjoy healthier food and beverage options, as well as high-tech conveniences. Book your room today at the Courtyard Lincoln, downtown Haymarket.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and our annual spring sales event is now underway. We have absolutely huge savings right now at Koppel. New Sierras and new Silverados have a double whammy. Choose from APR starting at 1.9% or discounts over $9,000. Yes, that's right, 1.9% APR or discounts of over $9,000. So please take that short money-saving drive down 144th Street just south of the interstate, or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit.
Several irrigation contractors in Lincoln go out of business every year, leaving sprinkler system orphans, begging for service. The folks at Judson Irrigation shed a tear for these little fellas. They've been coddling these orphans for more than 40 years. From redesign, repairing, replacing, and restoring, remember the Judson Irrigation Orphanage.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage, 402-420-6277, or judsonirrigation.com.
24/7 threat monitoring, expert tech support, streamlined communications. Allo has a solution for that. Protect your business with Allo Business. Comprehensive firewall security, Microsoft Teams voice integrated communications, cybersecurity and IT support managed by experts. From productivity to peace of mind, Allo has a solution for that. Allo means business. Protect your business by visiting allofiber.com/business.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Quick wrap up here to hour number one. Stricky, how much NASCAR do you watch?
You know what? I will say that I probably watch more F1 than NASCAR now. NASCAR to me, I mean, I like the switching up the course like Darlington. You know how it's a little bit narrow or more oval shit. You know, and then you have Indy a little wider, a little more speed.
Yeah, little brick on it.
Yeah, I like that part of it, but I think F1, man. When I went to the F1 race and just the power and the fan base, it was so dope, man. I really enjoyed that, and I think I need to go to another one. You know, I heard Vegas messed up a little bit. I heard the roads were bad. It just was a bad shaky? Look. It was shaky. But I hear they're trying to make it better. Heard Miami's pretty good, but I would love to go like to a Monaco one. You know, the Brussels one was dope, but I would love to go maybe to even one in Japan.
Can Dallas host one?
Of course they could. No, man. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's wild what's going on, though.
The reason I ask is because NASCAR just levied its biggest fine ever for fighting. And here's the thing. I don't watch NASCAR or F1. I haven't gotten into it. I mean, I, too, can turn left in my car. Is kind of my approach to it. I know there's a lot more to it than that. Don't come after me, text line. But $75,000 for fighting. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Gets fined the $75,000 fighting with Kyle Busch after the All-Star race in North Wilkesboro. Little contact on the first lap. Busch apparently deliberately wrecked with Stenhouse on the second lap. And I can understand, right? This is your livelihood. Just stop being petty. Don't crash. Just run the race, right? But if you, there's a fight or two every year in NASCAR. And that's when I pay attention. Like, it's literally just the fights. Kind of same with hockey. I mean, I guess hockey,
people go to hockey just to literally watch the fight.
Right. You go to a boxing match and a hockey game breaks out.
And people sometimes joke. I heard, didn't we hear this from Rocky Russo that there have been times throughout his career where he's actually seen them try to stir it up.
Yeah.
Just for the WWE type of feel.
Put on a show.
Put on a show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
He's like, he said, if I remember correctly, he said they were tussled up, and then all of a sudden they whispered in each other's ear, let's set it off right now, or something like that. If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
It's a legend. I don't know, but I thought that I remembered him telling a story like that.
Oh, I'm sure it happens. I mean, those guys are entertainers to their core. I'm just saying I would watch more NASCAR if you promised me that every time there was a wreck, the first wreck meant those two guys had to do a boxing match. I would watch more NASCAR that way.
So at the wreck, they would just literally stop the cars. You have to go into the ring, put on the gloves.
Every car comes equipped with gloves. You got to get the gloves out of your car, put them on, straight into the ring. Get after it. Let's go. Put them up.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I'm watching more NASCAR that way.
Wow. Ask the listeners if they down for the get down. I don't know. That's wild to me.
402-464-5685. Would you watch more NASCAR
man.
if there was more fighting? That's the question at hand. We will also talk some NBA here in hour number 2. Boston survives Indiana. Indiana chokes it away against Boston. I want Strick's thoughts on that, the mistakes the Pacers made in the end of the game, and then who's the better player right now, Jaylen Brown or Kyrie Irving? We'll get Strick's thoughts on the NBA happenings right after this. You're listening to On the Block on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Athletes of all ages and abilities. Price increases are approaching, so register early and save. For details, go to cornhuskerstategames.com. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel with Gatorade. Brought to you by Pepsi Cola of Lincoln, a proud partner of the Cornhusker State Games.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Power combo BOGO? Huh?
Yes, if you purchase an air conditioner, you receive a furnace completely free. At John Henry's, our professionals want to ensure you are comfortable in your home all year long, no matter what Nebraska has to throw at us. Call today to schedule your free estimate and learn more about the free furnace waiting for you. Give John Henry's a call today.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
Bagels and Joe is the perfect place for breakfast or lunch in April. Try their brand new cake batter cream cheese on any breakfast sandwich. And try the caramel latte, as 10% of proceeds from that drink will go to the Foundation for Lincoln Public Schools. 4 locations in Lincoln and 1 in Seward. Bagels and Joe.
Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Homeowners, is your yard in distress? Is your lawn being held hostage by stubborn and unruly weeds? Never fear, lawn lovers. Weedman is here. We'll rescue your lawn and restore its beautiful emerald green glory. The results of our expertly applied program are sure to impress the toughest of critics, your neighbors. Take that, Dale. Vanquish weeds and transform your lawn this year with Weedman Lawn Care. Get 50% off your first application. Go to weedman.com today. Terms and conditions apply. Go to weedman.com today.
It's officially one of the greatest weeks of the year on the sports calendar, Masters Week. Book your tee time today with friends, family, or coworkers at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Doors open at 10 a.m. from Thursday to Sunday, and they'll have food directly from Augusta National, like pimento cheese sandwiches, Georgia pecan caramel popcorn, and lots more, plus specialty drinks to get you in the mood for the greatest golf tournament in the world. Book a bay today at doubleeagle.golf.
School tells you all about the 4 seasons. Spring, summer, and so on. And then there's a way we really tell what time of year it is. Sports seasons, football season, baseball season, or even off season. Well, what's the chocolate season? Well, it's now, of course. And now, And now, and always, whether you're looking for a caffeinated pick-me-up on the way to work, a little snack on the way home, or you need the perfect gift that's sure to be appreciated, it's time for the chocolate season, y'all. 40th and Old Cheney, or order ahead at thechocolatseason.com. See you there.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Bleicher and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador. Online at prg-ne.com.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Erick Strickland. Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NIPCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Hour 2 on a Wednesday. We want your NBA thoughts. Boston survives Indiana. We'll tell you about it in just a sec. First, got to tell you about our great friends, our great sponsors, supporters at NEBCO. Hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mixed Concrete. Apply today. Start your career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. NEBCO and Ready Mixed Concrete offer great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they'll pay for your CDL training. Visit nebcoinc.com or readymixedconcrete.com to learn more. The reason we are stream only right now, Kansas City Royals and Detroit Tigers on the airwaves. Royals will be off tomorrow. Right now, they're through 6.5 innings. Royals leading the Tigers 4-2. All right, NBA Stricky, 133-128. Boston beats Indiana. First question is a simple one. Did Boston win or did Indiana lose?
I would probably lean more to the side of Indiana losing this game. As a young team that's trying to find their way, Boston has been here.
Mm-hmm.
This is where you see some of the calmness, some of the abilities that they did in not allowing themselves to be overwhelmed or downtrodden by the fact that they were down to Indiana at home, first game. They stayed focused on the task and ended up executing, getting the right plays. But a couple of things. One, 21 turnovers in a playoff game and you're a professional team on the road, that's tough to pull out.
Even in overtime.
Two in crucial moments, especially when you're up and you turn the ball over twice.
For those who missed it, it was the Halliburton kind of dribble off his foot. And then the one in the backcourt with what 10 seconds to go, give or take. Yeah.
So what you have is a young team that's sputtering, that's falling and can't get up. And so this is sometimes where you lean on the coach and you hope the coach's experience, Carlisle winning a championship, you're hoping that experience. So he takes some of the lumps on that too. Probably should have advanced the ball. Advancing the ball gives you multiple more options than that. But even still, the execution wasn't bad. The play wasn't bad. I blame Pascal Siakam on the backcourt turnover because anytime you're late clock, it doesn't matter. Anytime you're trying to get an inbound, but it's an important inbound that you need to get it in. So Pascal took an angle of a more like a 60, 70 degree angle as opposed to a more of a acute 45. What you've got to do, similar in football. So let me give it to you in football. It would be no difference than if you're running a dig route or a slant route and you more skinny it as opposed to slant it off. What does that do? It gives the defender an opportunity to get in that space without your body shielding off.
Because you're not changing direction as much.
Right. So if he would have made the cut like this, he cuts off the body, he's first to the ball. But because he had an angle that was more of a skinny angle, it allowed Jalen enough to get hand in there to cause the ball to go off of his hand. So the tightness of the cut would have made the difference, because he goes and go and attack the ball as opposed similar football.
Yeah,
that's why I tried to give that's the best. You want to go and cut the angle so that it opens up space for that ball for you to have first hand to it. You know what I mean?
Or you can draw a foul, right? Because he's got to go through you to get it.
There you go. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
So 133-128. Boston was up by 10 at multiple points, obviously in the first half, and then in the second. And then Indiana, comes back, takes that one possession lead. Boston gets the offensive rebound. Tatum puts up that, one-legged fadeaway from the free throw line, doesn't work out. But you mentioned the decision by Rick Carlisle to not call timeout on that inbounds play. Was that the biggest mistake, or what do you make of Siakam not fouling Jaylen Brown before he could get the three up in the corner? Yeah. Which decision do you think was bigger?
So, your boy, LeBron James, comes on and says, "This is why I foul."
Jay's sitting right there. It's his boy.
Oh yeah, his boy.
Jay's boy.
This is what he comes in and says on an X tweet, that this is why I always say foul in this situation. I think it depends, right? Because I've seen teams lose by doing that method. Make one, hit one hard, body in, tip out, and then now you're in scramble to where
it's impossible to defend.
Right? There was plenty enough time on the clock, 6 seconds. In 6 seconds, you can get from full court to the other court and do whatever you like, especially with 6 seconds if you can advance the ball. 6 seconds with an advance, you can run a play with a few actions before you can even, So if you can't draw up a play that can get you a good shot in 6 seconds after somebody just hit a shot or get you to the free throw line, then that's on you. I can't even fault you on that. So I say it depends. I think if you're looking at a time, maybe at around 3, but it's a risk, because if they catch it and they get an emotion and you foul, you're a dummy, because now that's why people don't always take that risk, because literally if he catches and he starts to go up and you hit hand, that's continuation.
You got to foul essentially on catch, right?
And so the risk is the timing of it is, I think, too risky, because if you foul just before the ball is motioned to be entered, that's a free throw. It's a foul with one free throw, because it's not a flagrant, but it's a technical, like a technical one foul, I think, in the NBA. He shoots one free throw, and guess what? Now you're down 2 with 6. Now you're at risk of losing potentially, right? So it's a lot of risk. So for me, I look at it from this standpoint. I look at the percentages. The average shooter is probably at around 36%.
That's where Jaylen is. He's a 35 or 36% shooter this year and for his career.
Okay, 35%. If you look at his numbers, probably challenged, maybe 32, 31. It's not going to be higher. You're going to be higher with more
time,
shots,
more space,
space than you are with challenge. So I'm playing at that point, I'm playing the percentages. Well, I'm saying 30, 32, 33%. I'm there. I'm challenged. No foul. I'm risking that.
He was right. Siakam was right there in his hip pocket.
Right there. So that's why I think it depends. Now, you're looking at 3 seconds maybe. Then at that point, you can consider it depending on the timeout situation.
Yeah.
3 seconds with a timeout with an advance. At that point, it's still a lot of time. So I think it depends on when you implement that measure.
And Indiana did get a shot at the end to win it, but it hardly counted as a shot. Halliburton looked like he might have had an opening. It looks like they lost him for a second trick. It would have been a 35, 40-foot shot, but it would have been at least somewhat in rhythm, right? Couple dribbles into it and pull, but instead he makes the decision to try to dribble around for something better. Derek White picks him up. Jason Tatum switches off on him. Tatum's all up on him. It's a tough shot, hits the back of the backboard. We go to overtime. Jason Tatum ends up the leading scorer for Boston, 36 points, 10 of them in overtime. I mean, that's a really good response. But man, it just doesn't feel like either team played that well, and especially the superstars.
Yeah, but this is where you got to tip your hat to Boston. You got to just say, hey, listen, they did what they were supposed to do at home. Figured out a way to come out of there with a W. This is where sometimes the goal of the visiting team, Indiana in this case, the goal is to go in there and steal one. I think when you're going to look back at it, it can hurt. And if you're a young team that don't have that moxie for bounce back, then depends on how you play this next game. Like, you could just play with a miserable and then just hope to get back home. No, your goal is to go in there and get one. You want to leave out with a split. Whatever you got to do, you need to live out with a split. Put yourself in advantage.
With the game ending, 133 to 128, went to overtime, tied at 117. I honestly think Indiana controlled that game. If it stays at that pace, Indiana can run. Now, I think Indiana wants the series over quick because they just played 7 with New York. So to me, the question is going to be, did Indiana just throw the first punch, or can they come back with another one? Because Boston Strick was, if not the slowest team, like bottom 5 pace in the league. They execute in the half court. They take their time with it, and they'll work on defense as well. Indiana is all about volume of shots. Go, 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 run, run, run. You mentioned their athleticism advantage, especially with Turner running against Al Horford. Are you encouraged by Indiana, being able to maybe control the pace in the tempo? Or are you maybe more discouraged by Boston not setting the tone as the 1 seed, clearly best team in the NBA in game 1?
Well, again, I always said, a factor is going to be what you get out of White and what you get out of
Drew
Holiday. Those are fact, because you don't have Porzingis. This is where your depth then comes in, because you don't have a lot of internal depth. So
Drew is really good.
He's doing a great job on Halliburton, which has been phenomenal. But I think Miles Turner and the depth that they have there, the length that they have there, they have some advantages. You've just got to say, you know what, chalk that one up, take your lumps, but go back and come back with more fire, minimize turnovers, take care of the ball, get good shots, and make decisions that are winning decisions, and you can come out of there with a win.
You mentioned the 21 turnovers for Indiana, not something you're ever going to be able to get away with. Boston had 14, which is still, a decently high number. Another discrepancy here, Strick, was the free throws. Indiana only shot 10 of them. They were 9 of 10. Boston got to the line 30 times, made 24 of them. Unfair whistle was that Indiana, shooting from 3 as much as it did. Was it limited because of the turnovers?
It was only 2 up until dang near overtime. Late in fourth. It was it actually was over. They only had 2 going into overtime.
Oh boy.
Free throws. Crazy. Like, that makes you kind of say, like real, come on, man. Like, come on now. I mean, Halliburton attacks, Siakam attacks, Toppin attacks. Miles works. Come on, man. Come on, man. That 30 to 10. Come on, man. And you only lose by 3. You got to be questioning that and wondering about it. But I'm glad they didn't bring it up. I'm glad they took their lumps, because it's even still with that discrepancy in the free throw difference, they still could have won that game. You take care of the ball. You don't turn it over. Just a few things that they did that they could have done better. You still could have won the game. In playoff basketball, you're probably going to get home whistles better. Just usually how it's going to happen, possibly. So in your mind as a visitor, you come into with the mindset of saying, we know we're going to have to probably fight against the whistle. So just don't do other stuff to compound the possibilities of us losing. Take care of the ball, make good decisions as far as our shot selections, execute, do all of those things, try to get up 6, 8, 10 like they were, and just hold on. and they just weren't able to do it just because of some small mistakes.
We can see what Indiana needs to change. If you're Boston, same script, or is there an adjustment or two you'd like to see the Celtics make heading into game 2?
I mean, for them, it's maintain leads when you got them. You know, put teams away. Don't give them. But Boston is, throughout their last year, especially with this crew, they have the resume of doing this,
right?
You know,
right?
Going up, being up 20, and freaking losing. I mean, that's one of the things they're known for.
Which, to be fair, is more common with the 3-pointer, right? And a team like Indiana that shoots a lot of them. But Boston went 3-2, 4-1 against Indiana this year.
3-2, I think. Yeah, 3-2.
Just stomp on it, right? We talked. Evan talked about that with our Husker baseball conversation. Boston, I think, still has to prove how dominant they are, you know, to some degree, and they got the win. I'm curious to see what lessons they learned from it moving forward. Quick preview of the West Conference Finals. They start tonight. We'll tie these two together in our next segment. Denver, gone. Minnesota or Dallas will be the Western Conference representative. Minnesota seemed built to beat Denver. They've handled Dallas okay this year. Luka's been a little hobbled in these games. When you look at this matchup, Minnesota's ability to body up and be physical, or Dallas's athleticism, which do you like more in this series?
I like the versatility of Dallas, but I think this is why I think the matchup is great, because I think both teams have good versatility up and down the board. I think Minnesota is going to want their role players to continue to play at a high level. They're probably going to want a good amount of consistency out of Conley, especially leading at the point guard position. You know, even with Ant not playing well in a couple of games, they were still able to get it done. So that shows you that team kind of reminded me of what Denver was like the year before, and like those guys like Brown, and he's now with
Case
Gabe Vincent. Gabe Vincent.
Yep. Well, here's with the Heat. Bruce Brown.
No, Brown. Yeah, but
Christian Brown or Bruce Brown.
Oh yeah, Bruce.
Yeah,
Bruce Brown.
He was with Indiana and then traded to Toronto.
Right.
Yeah,
Bruce Brown. What he was able to give them, you know, it wasn't every game, but it was a game or two. You know, and then Christian would come in, give you one, and then it'd be KCP one, Michael Porter. You know, they that's what Minnesota was getting from their role guys throughout this run. So they want to keep that up. And if you can do that without having to overly rely on Ant, you got some damage. Now on the other side, you got another team that's good in the half court, but also good in tempo. Kyrie has it, we're at tempo. Luka has it, we're running half court. Who's hot? We going. They've kind of figured that out now. Where they're going to have problems, in which they didn't have in the last series, is because Jamal Murray struggled in some instances, it hurt them.
Yeah.
I just don't know, out of the guard position, you're going to get a dual Luka or Kyrie fail. Usually when Luka is falling, Kyrie would then say, okay, it's me tonight. And then when Luka's got it back going, Kyrie's chilling. He's like, I don't need to do nothing right now. I can chill. And he makes maybe an impact play, or he plays great defense. The key is going to be who's going to match up against Ant. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Who's Ant going to cover? I'm pretty sure they're going to put Ant maybe on Kyrie. You know, just because of his breakdown abilities and so forth and so on. It won't wear him out as much as that body with Luka,
right?
You know, consistently. But they could go and make those two match up. The key's going to be on the other side. Who's covering him?
Who do you start with if you're Dallas? PJ?
Probably throw a little Hardaway at him, you know, but I still don't think they have anybody that can guard him.
Right.
To be honest.
Mm-hmm. Throw Derek Lively on him.
I don't know if his footwork
Lights
is
out.
like that.
Lights out, Stricky. I'm telling you.
I don't know if his footwork, but
I haven't been wrong yet.
The issue is you're going to have a funnel similar to what Nebraska plays, that kind of funnel type of defense, lead you to Lively, lead you to Gaffords, but he's been doing such a wonderful job of finding people, and if he continues that, then they're going to be dangerous.
You brought up Kyrie Irving. Let's jump into that when we get back from break. There was a texter yesterday during Old School that gave Jay and I a segment. Jaylen Brown versus Kyrie Irving. Who's the better player right now? Who's better in their role? Who provides more for their team? We'll have that discussion next here during On the Block.
Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Hey, Husker Nation, Matt Davison here with 1890. It's an exciting time to be a Husker fan, and to keep that momentum going, we need your help. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics, and we're doing the same through name, image, and likeness. NIL is a unique opportunity for every Husker fan to have a direct impact on the success of our programs. Through 1890, 100% of your contribution goes to the student athletes. So go to 1890nebraska.com, choose your sport, become a member, and help the Huskers recruit and retain the best. Go Big Red.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
If the week's been too hectic to even think about dinner, or your family can't handle one more night of leftovers, then it's time to let Hog Wild do the cooking. Hog Wild's family packs are one heck of a good deal for a complete barbecue meal loaded with all the smoked meats, tasty sides, buns, and sauces you need to feed your family. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
The need in our community, if you just look at the numbers, it's frightening. We're serving over 1,000 kids every day. With the passion of our people, I really feel like our potential to be of even greater service to kids and families who are struggling is just unlimited. But in order to have the greatest impact, we need all the help we can get from the community.
NIPCO is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mixed Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. NIPCO offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From NIPCO's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
This is Coach Bill Bush. You all know my passion for Nebraska. Having coached all over the country, I can honestly say there is no place like Nebraska. You know where there's also no place like? Midwest Bank. Midwest Bank has proudly served Nebraska for over 70 years, and they're located in 9 different communities. Midwest Bank is ready, willing, and able to meet all your personal, business, and agriculture needs. Your community, your bank, and mine, Midwest Bank. Find out more at Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
Your business runs like a well-oiled machine. It's important that your actual machines do too. Stern is here to make sure you don't have to worry about that. They provide solutions for heavy equipment and automotive fuels, lubricants, and equipment guard options. And with Stern's commitment to customer service for the past 40 years, you know you have a partner to help support your operations for years to come. Contact Roger at Stern Company by calling 1-800-477-2744 or visit them online at stern.co. Stern Company, where problems meet solvers.
The Mill Coffee and Tea, formerly with only 4 Lincoln locations. Guess what?
What?
There's 5 Lincoln locations now. Oh my gosh. That's 25% more Lincoln locations than there used to be. Can you even imagine a world where there's only 4 Lincoln Mill locations? Feels like ages ago. We were all so young then. The Mill on 11th, located right alongside 93.7 The Ticket Studios, 1040 O Street.
Hey guys, it's Bill Bush. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty has opened a new location in Pender, Nebraska, in addition to their office in Lincoln. The real estate world can be confusing, so why wouldn't you want an expert helping you every step of the way? If you're looking to buy or sell farmland in Nebraska, Kansas, or Iowa, give Ethan Sorensen a call today at 402-380-0432 or visit them online at nextagrealestate.com. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty with locations in Lincoln and now Pender, Nebraska.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Let me just say, I might have to turn in my Colts fan card. I did not know today was Anthony Richardson's birthday. Happy birthday, Ant. Franchise QB. I saw all these.
Not Edwards.
No. Anthony Richardson will be a better football player than Anthony Edwards will be a basketball player. I don't actually believe that. I just had to say it. I just had to say it.
I'm about to say, sorry, him texting. Holla at me.
I just had to say it. So yeah, happy birthday, Anthony Richardson. Love, blessings, many wins your way. I was seeing Anthony Richardson highlights all day from a couple people. I was like, why am I seeing these? So I looked into it and, hey, it's his birthday. Congratulations to him on that. Another year, plenty more wins in store. Okay, back to the NBA. Jaylen Brown, Kyrie Irving. Strick, I don't think it's debatable that those are the second bananas on their team. It's Jason Tatum's team in Boston. It's Luka Doncic's team in Dallas. Which player between Jaylen Brown and Kyrie Irving is the better second banana? Which one is better in that second guy role?
It's a comparison thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
The head-to-head. You're looking at a 6-5 in the regular season. Jaylen Brown. You're looking at the playoffs, 5-4. They don't normally match up. Sometimes, possibly. Points is led by Kyrie at 24 to 19. Rebounds really is only a 1-point difference. So to me, I would give that more to Kyrie being a smaller.
He's what, 6'2"?
Yeah. A smaller guy, and that assist definitely goes to Kyrie at 6. Steals go to Kyrie. Block shots are tied. Right?
Yeah.
Think about that, right? Field goal percentage is dang near pretty much tied. I would say Kyrie is a great finisher, but he's not at the rim finisher like probably Jaylen Brown is, and with his size.
Not aggressively. Kyrie's tricky, though. He's got a bag on
But he knows how to get it in. He knows how to get it done. 3-point shooting, Kyrie leads by about 3 points at 39. Free throws, Kyrie leads. Effective field goal percentage is dang near equal, 54 to 55. And then your was over replacement player.
VORP, value over replacement player.
Value over replacement player is Kyrie by far. So being that the major categories there, I think the more impactful player is Kyrie. This is why I think Porzingis ultimately, if they face, you're going to look at the difference being probably Porzingis out. Because now you're going to be dealing with size. I don't care who it is, if it's Dallas or if it's the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing that they're going to have to get over. I just don't think their size is going to help them. It could be a hindering in the long run.
I think you're onto that there. And I think, too, I mean, obviously the numbers bear out very much in favor of Kyrie. But even if you just look in terms of the vibe, right, the team fit, the chemistry, the cohesion, it still from a distance feels a little uneasy between Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Like, clearly it's Jason Tatum's team, but Jaylen Brown doesn't offer as much, I don't think, as a secondary ball handler like Kyrie does playing off of Luka, right? Jaylen Brown's not the point guard, doesn't have the ball in his hands when Jason Tatum's out. It's Drew or it's Derek White, right? Tatum's probably your prototypical 3, Brown your prototypical 2, right? Maybe slides up to the 3 if Derek White's on the floor playing the shooting guard. They can mix and match a little bit. Where I think I give Kyrie an additional sort of edge and nod is he has found ways to be a productive player without the ball in his hands, right? Think of young Kyrie in Cleveland. Think of him in Brooklyn. I'm going to give him a pass for when he was in Boston because Tatum was still growing into that role, right? Kyrie had to take a little more on him. Kyrie has figured out how to play off the ball better than Jaylen has. He shoots better. I think he attacks better on those second side closeouts. And Kyrie is matured. Obviously, we know Jaylen Brown's a well-spoken young man, right? I'm not saying he has immaturity off the court problems, but in a strictly basketball sense, Kyrie Irving has aged like a fine red wine that you would sip wherever it is you are in the world, Strick. You like,
Especially
he has
with
grown
Myers
into the
bottle.
Oh, exactly, right? Like Jaylen Brown's a good player. He's athletic. He's explosive. He's worked on that jump shot to get it up to league average. Heck of a shot he hit in the corner. I don't want to detract from him. He's a really good player. But for the contract, which is exorbitant,
right?
I feel like Kyrie has done a much better job of making Luka's life easier than Jaylen Brown has done making Jason Tatum's life easier.
There you go. That's the best way I could explain it. You said it exactly. I mean, without me going through the numbers part of it, your explanation of it is I think right on point because and I thought this is why this offseason was so important for Dallas. It gave him an opportunity to understand because it's tough when you literally just think about it like this, right? You're in a zoo. You're in the Henry Dorley Zoo up in Omaha, right? You have a silverback. You have a silverback gorilla in one of them. He got all the honeys. You know what I mean? he all the honeys in there, those are his honeys. You know what I'm saying? The silverback then is introduced to another silverback that came from somewhere else.
He had his honeys, but he had to leave him behind.
Right. Dropped into this space with another alpha. And they looking at each other like, it's on. That's kind of how it was. They didn't know how to, you drop somebody in that situation and in the middle of the season trying to navigate that stuff. That's why I think they needed the offseason. The offseason to get a chance to understand, to watch, to see where their wrongs were, see where their errors were, see how they can. And Kyrie just basically said, I'm not going to be like some of my older predecessors, like my Allen Iversons, like my Carmelo Anthony's initially before the second round. I'm not going to be like them. I'm going to understand who this is. This is him, his team. I'm here to win. And I'm changing narratives about me. So what better way to do it than to do it the way that I'm doing it?
Rings change narratives.
Winning and the way that you're doing it and the humility in which you're operating in. Yeah, he's doing that. You got to appreciate it. You can appreciate it.
We know Kyrie can still turn up, right? When Luka was struggling, Kyrie took over the reins, said, get on my back. I'm carrying us through the Western Conference semis, right? But who took on the challenge of guarding Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? Kyrie did. Now, Jaylen Brown's a willing defender. He's good. He's fine. But Kyrie took it up another notch, right? And we've seen this ability from Kyrie to transcend the moment. I think of that 2016 title run, right? He knows that's LeBron's team. He knows that he's got to play second fiddle, but guess what? LeBron was doing it. Golden State focused everything on him. Kyrie said, all right, my turn. I'm going to go get 42. Stepped up in the moment, right? We haven't seen that consistently from Jaylen Brown, and it's not like there haven't been opportunities. Boston's been in the conference finals, 6 of the last 8 years? 3 of the last 4 or 5, I think it is. Jaylen Brown has had opportunities. And I don't know if it's on Jaylen Brown and his mindset or if Boston just hasn't found the right coach, right? Jason Kidd has grown into this role. Still work to do for him in Dallas, I think. But Brad Stevens, I get why he didn't want that smoke. Really good coach, but I would take that front office gig if I were him too. Ime could have been the guy, but decided other stuff came before the product on the basketball floor. And then Missoula, he's okay. He doesn't move the needle for me though, right? I think Boston might need an upgrade on the bench too, to more clearly define roles, help Jaylen Brown, even point to Kyrie as an example. Like, maybe you can't handle point like him. Learn to play off ball like him.
See, the thing is like Kyrie, there's a lot of lessons that he learned. Here's what I will say. I appreciate Jaylen Brown because you can tell he worked on his craft.
Mm-hmm. Not his left hand, but everything else.
No. That's what I'm saying. His
left hand looks
better.
Oh, okay.
It looks better than it did. Like before, it was anytime he put it over there, it was like, whoa, them cookies would be. if I was sitting on them, I'm on them cookies. Them cookies is definitely looking very tasty. Right?
Chocolate chip, oatmeal raisin, white macadamia, all of them.
Heated with
Snickerdoodle.
With the milk sitting on the side, ready to go. But he's worked on it. I can appreciate that. He's definitely worked on his skill craft. And so he's better. Is it going to be enough? We'll see. But I can say that he has improved.
On the flip side of that for Minnesota, right? If you look at their kind of second gear, their supporting cast, Strick, I'm happy for Mike Conley, right? Pretty sterling reputation across the league. His Memphis teams never made a whole lot of noise. They upset the Spurs. And that's the 2-7 series, or is that a 1-8? Regardless, Memphis pulls off an upset over San Antonio. I think Mike Conley's a winning basketball player who's just never won, right? Super consistent, super steady, but he's kind of flamed out in later playoff rounds. I was happy to see Mike Conley hit that shot from the corner late against Denver because Anthony Edwards needs the ball in his hands a lot. He can't have it all the time. Like we talk about with Luka, right? Sometimes you need to give Kyrie some playmaking responsibilities, give Luka easier looks. I think Mike Conley can be that for Minnesota. I like the two-man game with him and Gobert, even if Ant needs a breather. Savvy veteran, calm, cool, collected presence, pretty good three-point shooter. I hope we get a couple Mike Conley moments this series. I think that man's worked his way for him.
Yeah, I like him. I think he's a great fit for this team.
Mm-hmm.
So now for me, it's I thought they did a good job of masking Gobert. Being able to use him without having to use him. Now, the Naz Reid situation, I like that good combination. They can continue to get good play out of him. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for Dallas.
It will be. That starts tonight. Boston leads Indiana 1-0. Jay Foreman waiting in the wings outside. Let's go to break. We'll cross it over with Old School and hope to be back on the radio waves for the start of Old School. This is On the Block on 93.7 The Ticket. Back after this.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread's Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread's Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
At Doane University, we build leaders, and that means your success and achievements come first.
At Doane University, your future is uniquely yours, and our world-class liberal arts education is just the beginning.
We invite you to schedule your campus visit and experience why Doane University will start you on your journey to your future career.
Learn more by scheduling your personal campus visit today at doane.edu/visit. See you soon.
Hey Nebraska! Register today for the 40th annual Cornhusker State Games, taking place July 11th through the 21st in Lincoln, Omaha, and other Nebraska communities. The Cornhusker State Games features 70 sports for athletes of all ages and abilities. Price increases are approaching, so register early and save. For details, go to cornhuskerstategames.com. If you've experienced a sports injury, joint or back pain, trust your care to Nebraska Orthopedic Center, a proud platinum partner of the Cornhusker State Games.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Hello? Hello? Believe it or not, old phones are one of the most common pain points in offices today. Many of these phones are beyond repair because parts aren't available to fix outdated devices. Whether it's a traditional phone system or cloud-based VoIP technology, Hamilton Business Phones can help upgrade your connection. We make it easy to sync your office phone with your cell for seamless call handling, no matter where you work. If your current office phone can't do this, you deserve better. Hire your local experts. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Whether you're looking for a place to stay for a concert at PBA, a Nebraska home game, or just a night on the town, the Courtyard Lincoln Downtown Haymarket is the place for you. Enjoy an evening at one of many restaurants or bars within a short walking distance. Business travelers at the hotel will enjoy free high-speed internet access, a 24-hour business center, and large in-room workstations. And check out the Bistro, where you'll enjoy healthier food and beverage options, as well as high-tech conveniences. Book your room today at the Courtyard Lincoln Downtown Haymarket.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and our annual spring sales event is now underway. We have absolutely huge savings right now at Koppel. New Sierras and new Silverados have a double whammy. Choose from APR starting at 1.9% or discounts over $9,000. Yes, that's right, 1.9% APR or discounts of over $9,000. So please take that short money-saving drive down 144th Street just south of the interstate, or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit.
Several irrigation contractors in Lincoln go out of business every year, leaving sprinkler system orphans begging for service. The folks at Judson Irrigation shed a tear for these little fellas. They've been coddling these orphans for more than 40 years. From redesign, repairing, replacing, and restoring, remember the Judson Irrigation Orphanage.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
24/7 threat monitoring, expert tech support, streamlined communications. Allo has a solution for that. Protect your business with Allo Business. Comprehensive firewall security, Microsoft Teams voice integrated communications, cybersecurity and IT support managed by experts. From productivity to peace of mind, Allo has a solution for that. Allo means business. Protect your business by visiting allofiber.com/business.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I came out all my
Here we go. We are back here during On the Block. Austin Norman, Erick Strickland, big thanks to Megan Walker on the board. Doing a great job. We welcome in Jay Foreman from Old School. Jay, what's up?
What up?
I feel like I should switch spots with Strick here because here's what we're going to do for the crossover.
Okay.
Minnesota, Dallas tonight. We'll start with Strick because he's my partner.
Forget.
We'll start with Stricky. He's my partner. For this show.
No.
For this show.
What's the weight? What are we wagering before we get into that?
What are we wagering?
See, that's how I know
Stricky
you
says
don't.
name your price. Stricky says name your price.
An athlete?
Straight to the face.
A double athlete.
Double athlete.
On
straight
air.
To the face.
On air on a Thirsty Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see a shake. Let's see a shake. There it is.
Go.
Okay, we'll clip it.
Yeah.
It's live. Bet is in action. Stricky, your first argument.
They're gonna let. They're
No,
going to let
hey. Overrule.
win.
No. Your first argument. Why is Dallas going to win this series?
Because the NBA is gonna let Ant be the man, and they're gonna give it to him in 6.
I said, why is Dallas going to win the series? Why is Dallas going to win the series?
I think it's rigged.
So you don't think Dallas is going to win because it's rigged?
That's a loser's mentality.
I think Dallas is going to win because the combination of Luka and Kyrie is unstoppable.
Jay Foreman, your first argument. Why is Minnesota going to win the series?
I think their size and length will give give Kyrie and Luka some problems, but I think their size and length will nullify either Hardaway Jr. or Washington or whoever's their third option. Look, going into the game, you can't stop Kyrie, right?
Well, Green gonna go nuts then.
Well, whoever else is, they're gonna get.
I'm
They're
trying
gonna
to
get
say whoever else.
What I'm saying is,
Which one? PJ or Hardaway? Because
both.
you can't have Green.
We're gonna knock down both of them.
Boo.
But I'm gonna tell you this: Conley will do a better job against Kyrie than people think. Not stop him. I mean, come on now. I'm not saying that. And I think if we can get Luka in one game where he doesn't perform up to his his prowess. But
okay, wait. Erick Strickland, most important role player for Dallas this series.
He don't even know the roster.
He knows the roster. We were talking about it.
PJ, 1A, PJ, and Lively.
I like that.
Okay, Jay Foreman, most important role player for Minnesota this series.
I'll say McDaniels.
That's a good call.
I'll say McDaniels. I was gonna say Nas Reed.
That was a good draft for them.
Yeah, I think, and I was gonna say McDaniels because I think he causes problems. And if he gets going over, if he scores over double digits, it's over.
That was a good draft for them.
If he gets 12 points a game, it's over because he's gonna lock you down.
Erick Strickland,
and he's got that DAW double G dog.
Jason Kidd.
I give him 2 thumbs down.
Why is Jason Kidd the better coach in this series?
Because Finch is he on crutches. That means he's hobbled. He's hurting.
I think Megan's brain's still intact, even though she's got crutches.
His mentals is not there.
A little out of whack?
Yeah, a little out of whack.
Okay, Jay, why is Chris Finch the better coach in the series?
Been there. 2011 champion. He knows what it takes.
I wouldn't say he's the better. I just think they're two really good coaches. They're two different type of coaches. I think Jason Kidd has done a really good job of managing egos.
Facts.
Whereas Finch has managed egos, but then also he's done a really good job of placing guys in certain positions and then getting them to embrace it. So I think they're both, obviously the best going. I think him being injured and kind of taking a step back and letting the assistant take over, and he can kind of see it from a different lens without his ego getting into it. Like he's got to be. I think he's just embodied the team. So I think that's what he's being who he is, but not being afraid of delegating. And that's what I think has allowed them to get to the point. Because you have the built-in excuse that the coach isn't being able to be active. I mean, he looks just like a fan because he's sitting there as soon as the game starts. He can't get up and down in a 30-second timeout. So right. You know what I mean? Yeah. By the time he gets up, you got to get back down. So I think it's allowed him to see it from a different lens.
Who averages more points this series, Luka or Ant?
Luka. And he's going to take more shots. So I'm not even saying it's because it's super efficient. It might be, but I'm going to say that he's going to be getting them up. Here's why.
I think I actually going to give a little slight to Minnesota because if they take the approach similar to what teams used to do to OKC back in the day, when
ignore Roberson,
when it was needed to go to somebody that can get it done, Westbrook would always think he was the one that could get it done, and he would shoot them out of the game.
Right.
And he wasn't enough of an alpha, but this is where I think it's different. He wasn't enough of an alpha to go and look Westbrook in the eyes and say, "Mother, give me the ball, and I want it right here." Like you need, like MJ would have said, "Hey, bro, hey." You saw it on what was this Last Dance?
Last Dance, yeah.
He would have hit him with that. you know where I want it. Off the block, right side. And you know what I'm about to give him, that fade work. So here's the difference, though. I think Kyrie is more of an alpha to be able to go to Luka and say, "Hey, bro, you killing this right now.
Yeah.
Let me take the reins." As long as Luka doesn't overplay his hand, they might have a chance. I think if I'm Minnesota, I'm letting Luka just go buck
35
wild.
shots. Yeah.
Like they used to try, we used to do that with LA. We're gonna let Shaq go nuts, and we had a couple strategies. We're either gonna let Shaq go nuts, frustrate Kobe, or we're gonna let Kobe go nuts, frustrate Shaq, so that when it's crunch time, we want Kobe taking a tough shot as opposed to giving it to Shaq and let him dominate the middle. So sometimes you got to implement these types of strategies in order to win.
Yeah, I think it's going to be just you got to be able to adjust if you're trying to win a championship, and to Dallas, to their credit, they're getting the best version of Kyrie that better than any situation he's been in
outside of Cleveland.
Yeah, but the way he ended in Cleveland, that's not the best version of Kyrie. I'm talking about getting on the court.
Championship.
Yeah, I'm talking about on the court, in the locker room, as a leadership. You're getting what everybody else hoped they could get. And he's found a way to make it work with him and Luka, and he's been okay. Playing second fiddle if he has to, and then he can be the closer as well.
What's coming up on Old School, Jay?
Well, the ACC has jumped into the NCAA, probe. So what is that telling you now? What does it mean?
The who?
For the NCAA probe.
The ACC.
Okay,
ACC and Big 12.
Okay.
They're in partnership. On the flip side, does the Big 10 and SEC just sit back and say, "Okay, you guys do your thing. Okay, you guys are going to do this. We see what you're doing. You played your card. Now we're going to play ours." I think that's huge. There was a TikTok of Justin Jefferson leaving essentially across the street from the New York Jets headquarters. Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
Dang.
Yeah. He had the hood up. Yeah. But a little NFL stuff.
There we go. That'll be Old School. Stricky, I'm done with you for the week. You got Harrison tomorrow, Nick on Friday.
Yeah.
Enjoy Thirsty Thursday without me.
Yeah, safe travels, man. The family and everything.
Appreciate that.
Condolences.
Appreciate that. I'll be on the block tomorrow from 2 to 4, Friday from 2 to 4. But coming up next, Old School. Jay Foreman. I'll be along for the ride. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back on the airwaves as well. Royals wrapped up an 8-3 win over the Tigers. And happy birthday, Anthony Richardson, best quarterback in the AFC South. Talk to you on Old School.
Be tripping.